Everybody, today I'm going to be smoking some cheese. It's that time of year where the weather's cool enough to do that. Cheese, when you smoke it, has to stay under 90 degrees or it'll melt. So you've got to have cool enough weather to do it. You can't do it in the middle of the summer. I have done it before when it's been warmer, but I put a bag of ice in the grill. So what I want to do is I'm going to use an amaze-n-tube pellet smoker tube. Fill it up with wood pellets. These are from Owen's Barbecue. It's a fruit wood blend. It's apple and cherry. You can use anything you want. You don't have to use specialty pellets. If you've got a pellet cooker, you can use the pellets that you've already got for it. So we're just going to fill the tube almost all the way and then get it lit. And when I do this, I don't fill it all the way up. I want to give it some space so that when you turn it on its side on the grill, you don't have pellets popping out all over the place. I actually put a little too much in there. You can light it a lot of different ways. If you have a blowtorch, that works really well. We're not going to be running any charcoal. We're just going to burn this so that we don't have a ton of extra heat. What I've found that works really good is a gel fire starter. It is food safe. And so I'm just going to pour it in here on the pellets. Kind of give it a little spin. And then I'll go ahead and light it. Now when you light it, be careful with this. This is an alcohol gel, so it burns very hot, and you can't really see it. So it's easy to think it's not going. If I put my hand around it, I can feel the heat coming off of it. So I'm going to just set that in the grill for a while. I'll leave the lid off and just let this get going. It will, as it gets going, it will burn as a flame. But once you put the lid on the grill and the smoke fills it, it'll put the flame out and the tube will just burn really slowly and give you a lot of good smoke. It'll just burn from one end to the other. This tube will burn for about 6 hours. So sometimes I will put this on in the evening and just let it burn through, and then when I get up in the morning, the tube has been out for a few hours, the cheese is done, and we're ready to go. So this is going to go in. Like I said, it's going to be a 6-hour smoke. I like doing cheese for 6 hours. Some people think that's a little too strong. I haven't really had any complaints. You can go as short as 45 minutes. You can go as long as 6 hours. It's really up to you. So you may want to experiment. Maybe the first time you do some, take some off after 2 hours, take some more off after 4, and then take some more off after 6 hours. And just kind of see what you like. Well, in my YouTube debut, I realized that I recorded a couple segments where I thought the camera was rolling and it was not. So I just wanted to review my setup to fill in some gaps that I probably missed by accident. So I've got the ranch kettle going. You can see the smoke rolling out of it. And the way I set this up, I've got some grill mats I got from Owen's Barbecue and kind of trimmed to size. They've been curled up on a shelf all winter long or all summer long, so they're not quite laying flat yet, but I've got the cheese on, and then here's my smoking tube. So the pellets are just slowly burning through. This will burn for about 6 hours, which is how long I do my cheese. Makes it perfect for doing overnight cooks. You can just put your cheese on in the evening, let the tube burn through. It'll go out at 2, 3 in the morning, depending on what time you started. And then you can come out in the morning whenever you're ready and pull your cheese off. I do flip the cheese about halfway through the cook if I'm not doing an overnight cook. It does tend to get more smoke on the top than the bottom. And the grill mats, just a quick explanation on that, it just gives me a clean surface to put the cheese on so I don't wind up with black grill marks all over the cheese. These grill mats, you can run them through the dishwasher, so after they get done with a cheese smoke, you'll see there's lines where each block of cheese was, where it didn't really absorb the smoke. But you can just stick it in the dishwasher, run it through, and then they're clean for the next cheese cook. So that's my setup. Let me get the lid back on here. And I'll just let this roll until the smoke's done. My cheese finished up last night after dark, so I went ahead and sealed it up. It was too dark to get any video footage of it. But basically, when your cheese is done, what you need to do is seal it up really good. I use food saver bags. Did a 3-pack here, and I always label my cheese so I know what it is. I labeled it Pepper Jack 11, 18, 18. And then another bigger one here. I usually do it in big bags like this because it needs to sit for 10 to 14 days and kind of let the smoke mellow out through the cheese. I have tried the cheese, immediately off the smoker, and it's not horrible. I've heard people say it tastes like an ashtray on the outside. I didn't think so quite as much, but I still just bag it up like this. Eventually what will happen is, as I start giving it out to friends or shipping it out for the holidays, I'll start breaking it down and putting it in smaller bags. But as far as storage, using one big bag like this works great. You don't have all these extra flaps from if I would have bagged each block of cheese individually. As far as the cheese selection, you can use any cheese you like. A lot of people do cheddar. I do some mozzarella every once in a while, and I'll use that. I'll actually shred it or slice it really thin with a meat slicer and use it for lasagna to put a little smoke flavor in my lasagna. But for me, Pepper Jack is my favorite cheese. I think, when you take a bite of it, at first you get the smoke, and then as the smoke starts to dissipate, the peppers kick in, and it's a really good compliment. But you can experiment with whatever you want. It's really easy. Just like I said, you can put something on in the evening, let it go overnight. So try a couple different cheeses out. One other thing to mention is do be aware of the weather. You really don't want your cheese to freeze. In my mind, cheese just doesn't really taste the same after it's been frozen and thawed. So if you are in an area where it's going to be below freezing overnight, then maybe you shouldn't leave your cheese in. So just keep an eye on the weather. If you don't have the food saver, you can bag this up with saran wrap. Instead, I would just do a couple layers so that you get it wrapped really tight. I know I've had really good luck food savoring my cheese, and it's lasted me up to about a year in the refrigerator as long as it's sealed up good. So it lasts quite a long time. And as far as this time of year, if you want to ship it for gifts, if you're in the United States, it's cool enough most areas. If you're shipping to southern Florida, maybe not, but it's cool enough that you don't really have to pack these with ice or anything like that. You can ship them just like this, and they arrive just fine. So that's it for smoked cheese. I'm going to be doing some more videos coming up here. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, anything I could do to improve. I've already ordered a microphone after watching some of the segments I've recorded for this. And just let me know what you'd like to see, and look forward to the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.